Hello everyone. Well, that's what happened. The movie Avatar 2: The Way of Water still reached the $2 billion mark and became the sixth highest grossing film of all time. So this movie reached the finish line, coming close to the final top 5, for which Avatar 2 needs to bypass Avengers: Infinity War, and I think by the end of this week this bar will be taken. So James Cameron of course demonstrates it is also impossible because his new film. This is generally the first movie since the pandemic, which was given a mark of $2 billion. Moreover, already this week it is quite possible that Avatar 2: The Way of Water will jump 2 marks ahead at once, bypassing Avengers 3 but also Star Wars and climbing to 4th place, and oddly enough, this does not please many major players at all in Hollywood, because they have more than just excuses for what has been going on in the world for the last 3 years. Just 6 weeks after the premiere of the sequel to the blockbuster, James Cameron has taken this incredible bar and joins an exclusive club that includes Avatar, Avengers: Endgame, Titanic, Star Wars: The Force Awakens and Avengers: Infinity War, and many skeptics generally believed that such figures are no longer lifting for world cinema. After all, the world epidemia she made huge changes in the film market, and not for the better. A lot of blockbusters have failed since that time, or at least the fees showed much lower than expected. Even James Cameron was skeptical about the success of his brainchild, because before the sequels were shown in cinemas, James Cameron said in an interview with JQ that Avatar 2 represents the worst business case in the history of cinema, because it should become one of the 3 or 4 highest grossing films of all time to pay off. But as you can already see, everything turned out differently, and even more. James Cameron set another incredible record, because now this director is the author of 3 of the 6 highest grossing films of all time. He is also the only director who managed to shoot 3 films that exceeded $2 billion at once. While it is noteworthy that Zoe Saldana starred in 4 of the 6 films that collected more than $2 billion at the box office, because she also appeared in Avengers: Endgame and Avengers: Infinity War, repeating her role of Gamora. So Zoe Saldana has her own personal record beyond the control of not a single actor or actress in Hollywood or beyond. But let's still go back to Avatar, and at the moment The Way of Water has collected $598 million at the box office in the United States and over $1,400 million at the international box office, while the cinema in China has already managed to earn $229 million, which is the largest box office since the release of Avengers: Endgame in 2019. With the most interesting thing right now is Avatar 2 has displaced Spider-Man: No Way Home from 6th to 7th place in the ranking of the highest grossing films of all time. View at the time of the end of last weekend, the James Cameron film collected a total revenue of $2 billion at the age of $24 million, while taking 6th place in the list. Why is it important? Yes, because the closest competitors who are still ahead of Avatar 2 are at arm's length from the film, or in other words, one maximum of 2 weeks. I'm talking about the Avengers: Infinity War movie with its collections of $2,048 million, that is, only $24 million more than the Avatar sequel. Taking into account the fact that only outside the United States this week the Avatar sequel earned almost $60 million, we can safely say that by the end of the week the Avengers 3 will definitely be ousted from the honorable 5th place, and the second Avatar such will enter the final 5 richest if possible tell the films of all time. And that's it for today. Write what you think about this film and its triumphal ascent. Subscribe to our channel and put your thumbs up. Thank you to everyone who watched to the end.